Alright, so what I'm going to put into this tray is just a seed starting mix from Pro Mix Ultimate. It's basically just like a lot of peat and a little bit of perlite. It also has a little bit of bark in there. But it's just a nice mix to start seeds in. So I'll start with that. You can also start with like kind of a sandy material as well. So I'm just going to put a relatively thin layer down the bottom. What I do is pre-dampen the soil because I find with like using humidity containers like these actual trays, the seed trays, or even just a to-go tray, if you water afterwards, you end up getting a lot more rot because there's so much water held up in there, and it's easy to overwater them in since there's no drainage holes. So what I do is just pre-dampen the soil, so all I have to do at the end is just a quick mist opposed to actually watering it down to get the soil. So now I'm just going to make it all nice and even. Now I have loads and loads of hosta seeds. All of these guys are what you're going to be planting up. I can show another video if you guys really want how to get them out of the hosta pods, what they grow in. I already did that, and I'm here. So there's probably close to like 25, 50 seeds, a lot of seeds in each little pod. So I took multiple pods and really separate them. So what I'm going to do is just try and make a little line with them and get them all nice and situated, and then I'll just sprinkle a little tiny bit of soil over top. So what I do is just sprinkle them. They're not going to be a perfect line. I just take a pinch at a time and just go along. Since this whole tray is going to be hosta, I'm not too worried about the separation. I'm kind of just making sure all the seeds are spread everywhere. Nice and even. I'm not trying to bundle them up. Going back and just flicking any of the seeds that seem to be in really big clumps. Getting them everywhere. It's going to be easy to separate them once they start to sprout, so I don't mind putting them a little close together and kind of just separating once they actually grow. And the whole point of putting a little small amount of soil, only about half an inch, maybe an inch deep, is that the roots don't really have a huge amount of soil to get entangled in. Then you separate them once they start sprouting. Alright, so that'll be good for this tray. There's pretty much seeds all along it. I'll bring it up a little bit. It's going to be hard to see. It's pretty dark. Dark seeds on dark soil. So now what I do is just take actual pinches of soil. I don't use my pot, and just sprinkle it over the soil. Just enough to cover them. Alright, that'll do it. There are still a couple showing, but that's alright. Pat it down very lightly. I'm not really pressing, just making it kind of even. Really small pats. Then all I'll do now is give it a quick 5-second spray, just something really, just to go over the surface, just to get the rest of the soil just barely damp, and then I'll put that humidity tray over it, put it under a growing light, and then this will be good to go.